If you love health and wellness, then she's got your message. You can get it from Karla's Korner. Make the world better. 105 on Karla's Korner.
Good morning, everybody. It's Karla Jarvis, your favorite nurse practitioner from Jarvis Family Medical Services. And today on Karla's Korner, I am so excited. We are ending 2019 in a bang, so we can start off 2020 and even more of a bang. My guest today is Nicole Ray. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Karla.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. So Nicole is my masseuse, and we had this wonderful session last Monday, and I said, oh, Nicole, I got to get you on my show. The title of the show is
Manifest Massive Love.
Yes. And so it's so funny that the show before us, the Go Glow Girl, said the same thing about manifestation, because we know that whatever the mind thinks, the body will follow. And I know people are thinking, well, how does this pertain to medical? Well, the mind and the body are one, but we know that whatever the mind thinketh, the body will follow. So a lot of patients, especially females, come into my office and they have these problems and they go, well, Karla, I just don't know how to fix it, or I just don't know why I'm feeling this way. But first I have to kind of make it through the mind to get to the physical ailments that's going on. And sometimes it's not even a physical ailment. It's a lot going on in the mind. So you and I were talking about that because you have a class on this. So tell me, how did you come up with this idea of wanting to teach women about manifesting massive love?
Well, I came up with the idea because I myself was someone who struggled with it. You know, I grew up in a setting that was, a family that was, not the ideal model for, the ideal relationship. And so as I got into my adult years, I found myself in troubled relationships. And at the same time, I was also very passionate about health and mindset, and that's what eventually drew me into, massage therapy. But personal growth, personal development was, really like a guiding light in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to a point many years ago where I really kind of drew the line in the sand, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get to the bottom of this love thing. Why are my relationships not working out? Why am I not having this quote unquote fairy tale, the thing I think I'm supposed to be getting? And so I went on a mission to every relationship coach, course, book, you name it, for several years to really understand myself, understand love, understand relationships. And, just to go back to what you're saying about health, when you have healthy relationships in your life, when you have a healthy relationship with yourself, absolutely that's going to impact your body, right? We are whole beings.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny that you say that, because I'm a product of parents that's divorced for 13 years. So my mother was a single mother for those informative years while I was growing. My father and my mother got remarried when I was a senior in high school. So I got to see what it was to be with a single father, what it was to see with a single mother. So I developed this real strong outer shell. But thank God for my husband, Jonathan, because he came from a product where the parents are still married over 65 years to this day. Yeah. So where I was ready to kind of throw the towel in, he was like, no, we're going to fight for this, and this is it. Then developing my relationship with the Lord and learning that, guess what? I can't get love from somebody else if I don't love myself.
Yes.
That was the key that I had to learn. And it took me into my 30s, because in my 20s, I was like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not. And then finally, when I hit 30, it was like, okay, he don't have to do that part. You have to do it, because how can somebody love you if you don't love yourself? Plus, tell them what you want and what you don't want. And the same thing when they come into the office, a lot of times patients, especially female, will put themselves last, right? And I'll say, guess what? When you come in Jarvis Family Medical Services, self-preservation is the key. We are like on this airplane of life, and when the plane is going down, what they tell you to do, put your mask on and then help the person next to you. That does not mean that you're selfish.
That's right.
That means in order to be the best mother, the best wife, the best girlfriend, the best daughter, the best friend, you have got to take care of yourself. And then, what do you want? A lot of times people say, I want love. Okay, what does love look like for you?
Yeah, that's right.
And it doesn't matter if you're gay or if you're straight or if you are tri, like when you like men, when you like men and women. It does not matter. But in order to receive love from anybody, you have got to know what it is to love yourself. So when we come to your class, you work on step by step
I do.
things.
Yeah.
So what's the first thing that you look at that you know is imperative to even start laying this groundwork?
Yeah. Well, first you got to know it's possible for you.
Yes.
You know, if you have the desire in your heart to have a healthy, fulfilling relationship, that desire is not there for no reason. You know, I believe God puts desires in our hearts, and sometimes we need to do the work.
That's
right?
right.
So you got to know it's possible, and you know, you got to get in touch there that if that's something that you want, it's out there. So you know, we start there, and then next, you know, we talk about that we live in abundance, right?
Yes.
So when we go through the dating process, you know, we're taught young, like, oh, there's this one. And yes, there's this one, but first there's 9 billion people on the planet.
That's it. That's
right?
it.
And so we have to sort. That's really part of the work.
And we have to take that stigmatism out of our brain that if a woman dates multiple men, that she is quote unquote a tramp or a whore or something like that. No, men can do that, but why can't women do that? We have conditioned ourselves that, oh, we're supposed to just sit in the corner and wait for the Prince Charming. No, you gotta kiss a couple of toes before you get to your prince.
Yeah, and then back to what you said, you know, getting clear on what you want. When you know what you want, it's that much easier to sort.
Yes.
Right? And I think, and I know this is one of the things that I suffered with, was I was really afraid to ever say that I wanted to be married. You know, because it was like, look, you know, if you tell them that, they're gonna run. And it was through my own growth and learning that, you know, if you say what you want,
girl, you better say it.
Well, if they run, they're supposed to run because then they don't want what you want.
Amen,
Exactly.
sister. Amen.
So, you know, then it's developing that self-love connection and empowerment and that courage to be able to say, this is what I want, right? This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. And you will find that it will show up so much faster that way.
Yes. And when you said that just now, I thought about what some people would say, well, men don't like a strong woman. Yes, they do.
They do.
They actually do. And if they don't, then there's something wrong with that man. Because I do believe that if you are a person with low self-esteem, you will attract the wrong type of person that will be abusive either physically, mentally, or verbally. And that's because they already sensing you that they can get away with it. But if you are a person that have that, you know, I'm not saying you have it all together. You know, I have a lot of confidence, but don't mean that I don't have areas that I still need to work on. I don't like the way I speak. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I want to be a little bit smaller. I mean, we all have that. We all have some body dysmorphia or whatever. But in the long run, I know what I will tolerate and not tolerate.
Yes.
So that's not to say that you are not a woman who wants to be loved and taken care of by saying that I'm still a strong woman. That's the same in one. Because you cannot say that because I want this means I'm not a strong person or a strong woman. That's not fair.
Yeah, and there's something I want to touch on there, and that's something else we go into the course on, is the masculine and feminine, right? And we all, whether you're a man or a woman, we have masculine and feminine energy within us.
Yes.
And so to touch on that, you know, what is it to be a strong woman,
Right.
And we need to be strong in this world, right?
Yes, we
I
do.
mean, women are being called forth today. Like, we need that powerful female presence, right?
Right.
And then there's the mastery of when to pull forth that masculine energy, which is about action, which is about doing, and then when to pull forth that feminine energy, which is about receiving and being receptivity and softness.
And nurturing.
And learning to balance both of those, learning which principle is best to bring to what situation.
Yes.
If you want a strong masculine man, you're going to need to learn to bring that feminine energy forth. When you go out to work or you're parenting your children, you're going to need to bring some masculine force. You got to do action. You got to set boundaries. So when you start to understand those different principles, you understand the principles of masculinity and femininity, what you're predisposed to, and then how to sort of manage that, where to bring what energy to. I mean, that's where you really develop mastery.
That is powerful.
It is.
That is powerful because nobody ever even said anything like that before. It's always either you're a weak woman or a strong woman. They never give us any type of energy to say, okay, both of them is in us, but when do you bring it forward? So
Yes.
I love that you said, and energy is major. Some people think when you use the word energy, it's like you're talking about witchcraft. No, the world is one big ball of energy. I believe that when I go into my office, if I have a positive energy, my whole staff will then run that way.
Yeah.
If I go in there with a chaotic energy, my whole staff, because energy does transfer.
Yeah.
If I have a bad energy, you can change somebody's whole day if you have a bad energy.
Absolutely.
So if you're out here trying to manifest love, and then to me, I'm also a vision person. I'm also a write it down person.
Yeah.
If you want something and you're wanting to master something, you need to write it down. What do you see yourself?
Yeah.
And that's not saying that you're still not praying, you're not doing the work.
That's right.
What you're doing is putting out there in the universe, and God says, come to me with a very specific prayer. So, I mean, what's your next step after they do that part?
Well, I want to touch on what you said about writing it down, because one of the things that we get clear on is clear on what you want, clear on who that partner is for you, what characteristics do they have, what qualities that they have, right?
Okay.
So that you're really, really clear on that. The other thing that you write down and get really clear on is back to that self-care.
Yes.
Right? Oftentimes we're like, oh, self-care, but we're not organized with it. But we actually have you create like even a spreadsheet that says, okay, how much sleep do I need? You know, how often are my medical exams? You know, what am I doing for self-care? Am I journaling? Am I meditating? Figuring out what of those activities bring out the best in you, and then actually holding you accountable to implement those.
Now, how do you begin, let's just say, like meditating for dummies? Because I'm one that the moment I sit down, I'm still thinking about business and this and that and all the stuff I have to do. How do I turn off my brain to start the meditating, even for just a minute?
You know what I recommend
What?
for somebody like you is some headphones
Okay.
with some theta wave music, or you know, just something so that you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, and then let's integrate this with men and women. If you see a woman come to you and she's adrenal burnout and she's exhausted, she's probably using too much of her masculine energy.
Okay.
So we would say to her, look, you know, one of the ways we can bring in a little bit more of that feminine energy is to relax.
Okay.
So, you know, focusing on, rather than trying to get meditation perfect, let's focus on getting relaxation.
Okay.
So even 10 minutes with headphones, maybe it's binaural beats, maybe it's just some soft music that really, you know, supports you in feeling calm. Headphones in, timer on, 10 minutes. And then you're going to need to practice that, right?
Okay.
Because if we're habitually on the go and go and do, then that's what's going to come easy to us, even if we are tired, right?
Yes.
So we need to take that time, and it's one of the reasons we sit down to actually identify what our needs are. And if relaxation is one of those, then it's 10 minutes a day with the headphones on the bed. Let the body go.
So where do I get that type of music from? Do I just download it?
Yeah, you can find it anywhere. I mean, you
Okay.
can find it on, I go to YouTube a lot I look for good vibes music.
Okay.
There's plenty of, you know, actual like meditation CDs. But if you're starting out, I think actually having something guide you, whether it be music or a guided meditation, so readily available today. We're so lucky for that.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to start that, because I definitely am. That's why I said how we really got to talk was me coming to you, getting a massage. I get my hair done. I go to the nail shop to get a pedicure and a manicure. Those are what I like to kind of calm me down for the day. I don't have to think when I'm doing those. I'm able to let the brain kind of relax. And I know I need that. That makes me a better wife, a better mother, a better boss, a better provider when I do that on a regular basis. I used to say, oh, no, not me. But towards the end of the year and the things that have happened, and I've seen some friends that have passed away, I'm like, okay, Karla, you have to live every day and fulfill yourself. You cannot give everything out to the universe. You have to keep some things for yourself in order to be better for everybody else. So let me ask you this. Are those classes pretty long?
Yeah. So the program that I'm beginning in at the end of January is 6 week. It's an online program. Every week you get a video, and then you get a live group coaching where you can bring your questions, and there's very specific topics. So like in the first module, we really look at your beliefs. We look at where have you been. So each week there's going to be a new aspect, including how to take on dating, how to deal with online dating. So then you have access to me through that group coaching every week, as well as a private Facebook group, so that you're really building community around it. And then I also have 2 slots open for one-on-one coaching on this topic as well.
Now, do you also work with maybe some mental health specialists? Because to me, this will also bring up some things from childhood.
Sure.
If you did not see a healthy relationship, that's why you may not know how to have a healthy relationship. And then sometimes you might have been traumatized. And so therefore, you're now getting into that realm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, we need to work hand in hand with mental health so we can help this person to be a little bit more successful, correct?
Absolutely.
And with primary care, because we have to make sure that their body is ready for this, because it's going to take them through a whole journey
Absolutely.
And so that's what I love about being a community provider. That's what I call myself, a community provider, a 21st century medicine woman. Because